What is the one thing we're going to do that we're not going to do?
Ask to film.
Bingo. Now, what's the first thing we're going to do when we go in there?
Ask for keys.
You're
Where's your keys at?
Scream, where are the keys?
Where are the keys?
Practice with me. Where are your keys? Where are your keys? And then, what are we going to do if they don't give us good prices and we don't like what they have?
Write a bad Google review.
Yep, we're going to do a 1-star Google review. That's pretty good. Now, let's see you put this into action. Hello everyone, welcome back. We are in Winston, Salem, North Carolina. We're here for a concert, specifically a Billy Strings Bluegrass concert. We'll get to that later. But first things first, you know we got to hit up the local comic shops. This first one up is S&S Comics. They've got 2 locations. I think another one is in Greensboro, North Carolina. So we roll up in there, and guess what the first thing we do? Do you care if I film in here or no? Sweet. I asked to film. Surprise, surprise. I actually do ask to film. And what did we do? The first thing I did, I went and looked at their keys. Look at this shop. This shop's got it all. First thing up, man. First appearance of the Sinister Six, Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1. I've never seen this book in real life. Super low grade. The back cover was off of it, so, I wasn't super interested in that one, but oh, doctor. Batman 423. Man, I've been wanting a high-grade copy of this, and look at this copy. Look at me touching it with my bare hands. I'm sure that's just driving people crazy. I've had people tell me, put gloves on, and I'm like, dude, just chill. Comic books are meant to be touched, and I touched it. Look at all this stuff in this shop, all these back issues. I asked him where the Silver Age stuff, Bronze Age stuff is, and he, super nice guy, directed me right over to it. And man, they had some awesome Silver Age books, specifically a lot of Batman books. So they had a lot of books where they had the top of the cover removed, which I think comic book shops did like back in the day to like get, I believe they got their like money back for like unsold inventory or something. They have a name and it's escaping me right now. They had some good Daredevil books. And then they had some awesome Doom Patrol, Silver Age. I'm reading Grant Morrison Doom Patrol right now, and it is some of the best comic books I've ever read. I mean, it's incredible. They had a lot of flashback issues, and these were all like, good, very good type condition books. I mean, they were very presentable covers, and the prices were pretty good. Shocker, I know. You guys probably assume that when I go into these places, I'm going to trash their prices. I'm going to trash their shop. Surprisingly, I've got nothing but good things to say here. I am a positive person, I think. If you see here, me and my legal counsel are digging through these long boxes. I love how they have these displayed, by the way. Everything is in bags and boards. Everything is sequentially numbered and ordered, and this is how you run a comic book shop. Look at how clean, look how tidy. They've got a whole anime or a manga section. They've got omnibus. They had this Doctor Doom omnibus. I almost bought that. It was crazy. And they had all these figures. I've never really like looked up close to those DC figures, but man, those things are crazy detailed. The quality of figures nowadays is incredible. He said that he had some Golden Age stuff here towards the front of the shop, and I was like, okay, I'm going to definitely pick through that, see what they've got there. They had some nice, 20-cent ASM books, Legion of Superheroes books, and then they had Adventures into the Unknown Golden Age stuff. These were like $10 a piece, and these were very nice condition 10-cent books. I mean, it was just a treat to kind of see those type of books. And then I stumbled on this. I double-taked. I was like, that's something. And then I looked at it again. I was like, holy crap, that's the first appearance of the Elongated Man. That book is very, very valuable. And I was like, let me pull this one aside here. I get this one out and I kind of look closer at it. There were some like 10-cent Superman in there, but predominantly what this was the Disney, Scrooge and Daffy Duck stuff. I don't really collect that. They had the Alex Ross covers over there. those were incredible to see those. Man, I wish I would have collected those when those came out. They had original art. They had a John Constantine piece that he was reading a comic book. None of these original art pieces had price tags on them. Mother Goose was like asking, like, she wanted the John Constantine, and I was like, if you got to ask how much it is, we can't afford it. They had an original Eastman in the back of the shop there. They had a picture of Stan Lee signing that. I mean, this shop was crazy. Then they had like all these variant covers. They had like Adam Hughes covers, like a section of that. I was like, this shop is nuts. And then I hit the mother load. I mean, this is like the Batman stuff that I need. This is the Batman stuff that I want to fill my run with. I could have bought basically the first like 30 books you see in this beginning of this where it says Batman. I could have bought like all of those, but I controlled myself and just bought a few of them. Spoiler, stick around to the end and see what we got. But these are all like, 4.0, 5.0 type books. The next place we go is Recollect Shop. So we kind of almost like missed this one. And listen to us again as we walk in here. Hey there. Can I film in here? Is that okay? We're making a YouTube video. Okay, thank you. It was touch and go there. I didn't know what was going to happen. I was not expecting to see this older lady running the shop. She was the sweetest lady I've ever encountered in any of my comic book adventures. I love her. Really nice shop. Her son owns this shop. He was away apparently buying another collection. Good for him. And she was kind of manning the store while he was gone. And I go right to the back, right back into the comics, and I see like top shelf stuff, and I ask her, hey, can I like go up there? And she was like, well, my son's like 6'4", so he can like reach up there like no problem. But she says there's like a ladder. So she's going to get the ladder while I'm kind of looking at this other stuff. Mother Goose is looking at Bane Breaks Batman's Back. I hate that book. I never want to see that book again. And then I'm looking at the Spider-Man Noir. I don't think they had Spider-Man Noir #1. That book's hot right now at the time of this filming. There's the ladder. Mother Goose is setting up the ladder for me. I'm starting to scale it. I didn't think that I was going to be scaling a ladder. She's coming over. She's like holding the ladder. She's like scared that I'm going to fall, break my neck. I had to look at this book. It was the first appearance of Death for $40. I put the book back real quick because it literally had like a million spine ticks, and I understood why it was $40. But I was like, I have to see this book. I was like, why is the first Death $40? So I looked at it. I looked at Batman 666. I love that cover. Love that book. It was a little high for me. Everything in here was a little bit high for me. I'm sure if her son was here, we could have maybe negotiated some of the things, but I wasn't going to do anything like that with his mom. And it was, she was so sweet. They had a good amount of Saga stuff here. I think all of these that you see in these bins right here were $4 a piece. To me, these are like $2 books, $3 books maybe. And like I said, if her son was there, we might have been able to, kind of negotiate and kind of wheel and deal a little bit. But I was just trying to peruse in here, see, if there was any kind of keys, any kind of big stuff in here. But it looked like they had been pretty picked through. There was actually an Incredible Hulk issue that I needed for my run, but I was just being really cheap. I just spent a whole bunch of money at the store before, so I was like, oh man, I probably shouldn't even be buying anything more. My wife and the lady, like, they're like striking up conversation. They're talking about like how expensive eggs are and stuff, and I'm like trying to dig through back issues, and I'm just happy because I was like, there's actually a dollar book section, so I go crazy in there. I'm like, I'm digging through all this. I'm finding like Saga, Swamp Thing stuff. I'm finding Thor. I'm finding Hulk. I'm finding Flash. I'm like, oh man, there's some pretty good dollar books in here. Of course, nothing was bagged and boarded, and the condition was not great, but hey, dollar books. They had the Stephen King Dark Tower miniseries, but issue number 1 was missing. If the whole series was there, I would have gotten that. Had some 90s Batman, Shadow of the Bat. Had some Animal Man in there. The Jeff Lemire New 52 Animal Man. Just read that omnibus. Excellent. I'm like the biggest Animal Man fan there is now. Love me some Buddy Baker. They had some Doom Patrol books. These are the Doom Patrol issues from Grant Morrison. These books don't get any love, man. Doom Patrol is awesome. Like, I got that Doom Patrol omnibus for like basically nothing. And then these Doom Patrol books are like relegated to the dollar bin. I'm like, come on, man. So we leave there. I had to film this. This place, they got the big deadhead symbol. This place was closed, but the guy that was the owner was in there. I'm like looking there and he's like hiding in there. It was so funny. He wouldn't let us in. And then we were on this like rich people street, and the name of the street was like Robin Hood. So the whole time I'm thinking, man, we're gonna these people are like gonna steal from the rich, give to the poor. Like, I was like, dang, this is the Robin Hood street. After that, we went to the concert. So that was the musical stylings of Billy Strings and his accompaniment. Loved the concert, great time. Billy Strings played for hours. Next thing we did, this was the following day, we went to this antique mall. When we got there, I thought this place was called Keymaster Comics. I was like, this isn't a comic book shop, this is an antique mall. And I said, hold up, wait a minute, maybe we can find some deals in here. There was a whole display of comics in here. I spent some serious time in here. Got a lot of footage, a lot of digging. The owner, so I'm assuming like the owner of these books set these books up in this shop, and then, the owner of the antique mall, is just manning the store, and then everything that, a person buys just goes to the owner of these books, which is a pretty good idea if you don't want to run a shop. You just kind of set up a shop in an antique mall. So, pretty good idea. They had 8 long boxes and then 5 short boxes, and these were pretty good boxes. Nothing in these boxes or on that wall was over $5, so just keep that in mind. If you see anything in here I missed, I made a snafu, but I definitely bought a few things from here. A lot of interesting books. Now, a lot of this was, like you see, there's a million issues of Cable #1, but there would be like little gems tucked in there, like Captain America and the Falcon, like in the 200s. I'm like, okay, this is a legit book. Everything was priced, and everything was like labeled if it was like a key or a minor key. Whoever did this put some serious effort into this, so I got a lot of respect for whoever did this, because they definitely put their time in. They had some Fantastic Four books in here. I was like, man, this is awesome. The top shelf you're seeing here with these long boxes, this is all Marvel, and then below here was DC. The best part about this was Mother Goose got to go antiquing and doing her thing basically, while your boy got to dig through these boxes. So it was literally like a perfect storm. I don't know if any of you have ever gone digging with your significant other, but there's always kind of that thing of like, you feel bad because it's like, well, man, I could probably like spend like an hour and a half in here digging through these boxes, which I think I pretty much did. Like I said, the guy who did this definitely did his homework. So, I wasn't expecting to find like a $50 book or something for like $3. But I was like, okay, here's some Hawkeye, some Kate Bishop Hawkeye. I was like, #1 could be in here. It wasn't. There was some Incredible Hulk in there, some World War Hulk, Midnight Suns, dollar book type stuff. I don't think anything was labeled as $1. And then they had like the Invincible Iron Man stuff, and I was like, first Riri in here? Could be. I think it was second Riri in the machine or whatever it's called, and then there was that Mary Jane cover. The Mary Jane cover kind of caught my eye. Pretty eye-catching cover. I don't know who did that one. And that was, I think I was like a long shot number 2 was in there. So look at these Invincible Iron Man books. They were all pretty high grade. And then that Fantastic Four book was like the first like Parliament of Doom or something. Then I move on to these next boxes. It's more of the same. This kind of stuff is just not the kind of stuff that I'm collecting. They're nice books. It's just, this is the kind of stuff that I'm getting out of. Like, I've bought collections. I've bought, things in bulk. And a lot of these books, a lot of these type of books are books that you see when you buy bulk and you buy collections, stuff like that. They had a nice little run of the New Avengers. Really cool Scarlet Witch cover. I set this one aside. But they had a lot of good stuff in here. Several of these, like that New Avengers cover, that was a Venomized Wolverine book. I actually go back in and get that one out. One of those was in like super high grade. That's that Liefeld McFarlane New Mutants, I think. There was a couple of those in there. New Warriors, Night Mask, Super Pro #1. I think I actually stop on that one. That's how funny this is. NYX #1. I think there was like 2 or 3 copies of it. Original Sin tie-in stuff. And then they had some Silver Surfer. I think that was like, what's that first Infinity Gauntlet? But it was in like super low grade. There was some other Silver Surfer books, but there were like reprints. I think you guys saw those earlier. Squadron Supreme. Here's some Thor Donny Cates stuff. That book was pretty valuable there when that run was super hot, especially in the beginning with, what is it, the first appearance of Black Winter or something? I can't remember. I really liked that Thor run in the beginning of that. There were several of those issues. I think issue #1 and 6, duplicates of that. There were some Thunderbolt stuff. Ultimate Fantastic Four, which I've heard is a pretty good read. I still need to read Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate Fantastic Four. There was some Venom from like the new run. Then there was the Bagley Venom. I mean, there was a little bit of everything in here. I mean, I would have not been surprised to find something crazy in there. I did find this. Second issue of that Zatanna run, the Paul Dini run. I set that one aside. And then that New Avengers Scarlet Witch book. They had a Batman box, a Spider-Man box, a Valiant box. But these were all like the Batman Rebirth stuff, like with the Punchline, the Joker War. There was some Batman Beyond in there. I mean, these were all books that had come out within the last, like, 3 years or so, 2 or 3 years. That's not really, any of that I'm not really collecting. If I'm going to read any of that material, I'm going to read it in a trade paperback or in an omnibus. I'm not really collecting those single issues. He had an Image box. He had those... what is that? Something's Killing the Children, Free Comic Book Day book. And then he had that. I set that aside. We'll talk about that here in a minute. The Grendel Tales. I think once we get a little bit farther in here, I think he had, it was 8 Billion Genies or whatever it's called. That Genies book. That book got like crazy hot. Yeah, 8 Billion Genies was in the back there. Then you have to have your obligatory Image short box with, like, you guys know what's in this box. Youngblood, Prophet. There was first appearance of Prophet in like a 5.0. That's like a must-have. Then there was some ASM. There was that One More Day, that cover, and then there's the Mephisto cover, which was not in there. I wish. There was the Halloween version reprint of the Ultimate Fallout 4. I set that one aside so I could take a closer look at it. They did have some more. They had some video games, and then they had a whole nother section of books here that they were like kind of like trade paperbacks, but they weren't like volume ones. There was Scalped. I still need to read that by Jason Aaron. I've heard that is excellent, but that was like volume 7. If it had been volume 1, I would have bought that. There were some DVDs, and there was some old records, some old vinyl stuff. But these books, oh man, these were not good. This was some garbage type books. But I still gave them their due and kind of really took a look through the whole thing. The antique mall, that's what you get. Like, it's like, man, there could be gold in here, or there could just be nothing. There was that DMZ. I want to read that too. That was volume 2. I heard the show wasn't very good, but I still want to read that book. I might get that in like a hardcover one day. I keep digging here, and I'm like giving up hope. I'm like, there's nothing in here. And then I'm like, hold up. There was Invincible in there just tucked. Like issue number 39, and there's more Invincible in here. I think there was like 2 more issues. None of the crazy issues. None of the super early issues or any like the big first appearances. But still, there were Invincible books in there. But anyway, I kind of wrap it up here. Let's get back to the house and kind of talk about what we pulled. So this is Flash number 112. This is Golden Age Flash, 10 cents from 1960. This is the first appearance of the Elongated Man. It's low grade. There's a chunk missing out of the side of it, and still, nice book. This book, these are not the prices I paid. I'll talk about price here in just a minute. This is Batman 423, one of the most iconic Batman covers of all time, one of the best Todd McFarlane covers of all time. Look at the spine of this book. This book is clean. This book is not below a 9.0. It could be a 9.4. I'm definitely considering getting that one graded. Everything you see here that I'm going to show, and I'll tell you when it stops, I paid $400 for. So it was $375 and then $25 in taxes. You guys let me know if I got a good deal or not. But that Batman 423 in high grade alone is a $200 to $225 book raw. These Batman issues, like I said, they're like mid-grade to like 4.0 type books. This one's got a cool library stamp on it. I thought that was really cool. This is Batman 341. This is Batman 303. So a lot of these books, like the Batmans in like the 200s to like the early 300s, I don't have a whole lot of those. Like I have the big ones, like 251, but like and First Ra's al Ghul, which I'm trying to remember the number of that book. But anyway, like I have those bigger keys, but like all these other books, I don't have these, and these covers are so cool. This is Batman 225. I actually read this book. We were like waiting on something, and that was a pretty interesting story. It was kind of like a Jimmy Fallon, like late night type character, and he was like the villain. It was a pretty good little story. I don't remember what issue that was. This is Batman 289. These covers, man, like good God, man, these Batman covers. This is, to me, this is the best Batman. Well, the early Golden Age stuff is like the best Batman covers, but those like early like 300s, like early 80s, late 70s covers. God, those covers are so cool. This is 172. And this is a really good one. This is the first appearance of Lucius Fox. I think the number of this issue is covered. I can't remember the number of this issue, but this is a nice book. It was in pretty good condition too. Probably like a 6.5, 7.0 maybe. Major first appearance, Lucius Fox. Then they had an X-Men issue, 153. These were all from that SS Salesfish store. nice copy of this book. That is a great cover. Popcorn cover, Kitty Pryde, Shadow Cat. That's awesome. And then this is X-Men 242. Again, hole fillers for me. I think I'm pretty close to having 100 to 300. Oh, actually, sorry, 94 to 300 of X-Men. So all of those books you saw there, I got those for $375, $400 with tax. These last three books are the ones I got from the Antique Mall. This is Chosen, also known as American Jesus by Mark Millar. They're making this into a Netflix series. I can't wait to read that. That's like what happens if an American boy has the powers of Jesus. This is Spider-Man 2099, arguably first Miguel in a newsstand. I had to get that. It was $5. And last but not least, we got Zatanna number 2, Paul Dini. I'm trying to put that full run together. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.